Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Tresleen, your host for Food for Life. And today I have a wonderful guest that I can't wait for you guys to meet. Her name is Lisa Marsh, and she started a gluten-free treats business with granola and all kinds of wonderful, yummy things. Her story is very fascinating. She went from law enforcement to making healthy treats, and I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. So hang on 1 second and we'll be right back with her story. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I am well, Ashley. How are you?
I am great. I'm getting ready for the holiday season. How about you?
Doing the same and getting everything organized and pulled together and figuring out what we're going to cook and what we're going to eat in whose house. And so, especially with the business, trying to figure out, okay, what are we doing? What events are we participating in? So
I've been slowly room by room decorating my house.
Nice.
I know. I couldn't help it. I'm like, I need to decorate. It's going to take me forever. I'm like, so I need to slowly do that. Now, I was telling everybody in the intro about how you went from law enforcement to owning your own granola company. You maybe want to tell us, how does that happen? That's so contrasting things.
It truly is. We like to say we went from corrections to confections. So
I love that.
a good friend of mine coined that. And I'm like, can I steal that? And she's like, sure. But I did 27 years in federal law enforcement where I worked for the federal prison system. And I started there in Arizona and ended my career here where I presently live in the Chicagoland area and finished up at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago. Hey, law enforcement people. So after that, well, I would say even before that, before I decided to go ahead and retire after my 27 years, I actually opened a gluten-free baking business. And I like to say I'm an accidental entrepreneur because for me, yes, totally accidental. For me, it is about having foods that I can consume that taste amazing. And that is what I have had to do with MsPsGFree. You see, I don't know if the audience can remember times in your lives that have changed your lives forever. And for me, I will say that was 2009. Unfortunately, it started with tragedy. My mom passed away in March of 2009. And in the midst of her passing, my health concerns only got worse. I had already been experiencing acid reflux, digestive issues, severe flatulence, and so much so, my husband said to me, "You're too pretty to smell like that." So look, when the husband starts saying you got to make a change, you know it's time. So I began going to the doctor, trying to figure out what was happening. They told me to stop eating fruits and vegetables, stop eating dairy, stop this. And I was like, I thought those things were supposed to be good for us. Then I went to a training and a classmate of mine told me she was gluten-free. I had never heard of it. And I looked at her like she had two heads. I was like, okay, what is that? And when she started describing her symptoms, she described me. She had, though, celiac, where I don't. I have an intolerance to wheat, rye, and barley. But it was the same thing. So I came home and I started throwing out everything that had any wheat, rye, and barley or gluten. And girl, I just felt better. I was like, okay, I could possibly do this. And yes, I could change this. Then I started searching for good gluten-free products. And this was 2009. So you could imagine that things were really tasting a little cardboardy, and I wasn't having it. So
limited stuff on the shelves back then.
Yeah, trying to test stuff. And things were so expensive back then. And I can remember vividly going to buy these triple chocolate chip break apart gluten-free cookies. I was so excited. I'm a self-proclaimed chocoholic. I will let you know I'm in therapy for it.
Oh, me too.
Happy to hear it. Happy to hear the only
You're not alone.
Right. So I brought them home and I threw them in the oven. I'm waiting on them. I was like, ooh, 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 I cannot wait to try these. I pull them out. I bite into the first one. Tastes like hot wax. I was like, no. Cannot be on this diet eating these foods. So that was actually the beginning of my starting to bake things that I thought taste good, get recipes that were meant for gluten-filled stuff and change it over to gluten-free. I did so many experiments. I used to go to our Bible study, our women's Bible study from church, and I would take these concoctions that I put together and pass them out. And they'd be like, oh, these are good. And then one week they'd be like, you might want to leave these alone. So
total sitting on the table in the corner.
Yeah. Total experiments. But from that, we have several items now that we offer that are gluten-free. And we have 2 that are our staple items that are in Whole Foods markets. And they are our cookie bars and our granola. And for me, the cookie bars were the first thing. So we love them. They have a graham cracker crust, 2 types of chocolate. Chocoholic, y'all. 2 types of chocolate. They have almonds and pecans and coconuts and sweetened condensed milk. And we have a dairy-free version because I'm moving over to the dairy-free side. And so we do have a dairy-free version that we also offer. But our biggest seller, to my surprise, is our granola. This granola is selling off the shelves. And we were so surprised that the granola sales are like triple those of our cookie bar sales because we are just chocoholics. But the granola, no added processed sugar, sweetened with stevia and honey, and got flax and chia and whole raw cashews and whole raw almonds, organic gluten-free oats, cranberries, raisins, and seasoned with an organic coconut oil, and so delicious.
You say that almost like it's dirty, like you're like going to like you're enjoying just talking about it, getting so excited. But that's okay. You're speaking my language.
Yes.
Cashews, like I literally snack on those things by the handful because they're just so easy to eat. Like you, I have chosen to eat gluten-free for my own reasons, but I don't have celiac.
Okay.
And finding good things on the shelf or when you're traveling is really hard. Like it isn't the same as it used to be. Like a long time ago, not so much. There wasn't a lot. And as far as prices go, I mean, the price of everything's going up these days. But you know, the funny thing is we were talking a while back, and you and I were talking about how food allergies and intolerances and how people are like, no, you don't have that. Just keep eating, keep doing that. The lack of awareness on people's parts.
Yes, I so agree with you. I actually was on LinkedIn and they were talking about food allergies and how some people in these restaurants now, because they think that gluten-free is a hot topic, they're like, oh, we got gluten-free. And then you go in there and you're sick from it. That so frustrates me. It's like, do you not understand that this is people's lives that you're messing with? Because when I get glutened, I'm like down for 2 to 3 days. I'm trying to flush my system with ginger ale. I'm drinking ginger and peppermint tea. My head starts spinning. And so I'm like, no good. And I don't have time for that, as I'm sure others don't. So I really, really pray that we can start to educate more people about these food allergies. because it is not a fashion statement. It is not something that is a hot topic. It is real people's lives, intolerances, and allergies. So
now we were talking about how both of our families have had kind of an odd response to, oh, you're gluten-free or vegetarian or vegan. Like they're kind of like, all right, so you're the strange one sitting in the corner. Like, can your food actually taste good? Like, is it like bad? And so tell me, how does your family feel about this? I know your immediate family is kind of on board, but the rest of your family.
well, I'm still trying to onboard my immediate family because my husband, well, I think I need to be gluten-free, but all these cupcakes and breads and everything tastes so good. And I'm like, okay, so you just want to keep on with the responses your body is giving off that's telling you probably shouldn't be eating. But, a lot of my family have now embraced the fact that, Lisa's gluten-free. So if we're going to do anything, we need to make sure we include her, ask her what it is she can and can't have. And then they're like, with some gluten-free stuff, because now, believe it or not, since they've been eating my stuff, because my husband never really used to eat our granola, and now every day he's making these parfaits, and he's got his granola on top with his dairy-free yogurt and his grapes he sliced up and strawberries and bananas. I'm like, okay, who are you? Where is my husband? But he is really enjoying them. Because before he was like, you're a hypochondriac. Why are you trying to make us eat all this stuff? Because it's good for you. Yeah. But that's families for you. But yeah, mine is finally getting on board with the fact that no, I cannot. And no, I am not going to cheat because you want me to taste that cupcake. I am not going to make myself sick because you think I need to taste that. No, thank you. So, but my granddaughters get it. I have a 7-year-old granddaughter who will be 8 next week. And she said, well, that's not gluten-free, so we can't have that. That's not gluten-free. She's so adorable. I'm like, okay, baby. Thank you for taking care of Grandma.
Well, she knows and she's aware. And
Yes.
I know in a lot of schools now, there's so many rules of what you can and you can't bring. So, they're starting to make allowances for it. So, they're starting at a younger age to be aware. Yeah. I mean, when I teach cooking classes, the thing is I want to be supportive of everyone. So I always ask, are there food allergies? In case I need to change a recipe I'm making. I want everyone to feel included. And your granddaughter sounds like she's the girl that's going to be doing it. She's going to be like, nope, can't have that. My friend can't eat that.
Right. Not gluten-free. She will tell you too, that's not gluten-free.
Start them young.
Yes.
We are talking with Lisa Marsh, more with her after these messages from one of our sponsors.
Champagne Rendezvous is handcrafted totally naturally, made from organic grapes, exclusively in Premier Cru vineyards in Champagne, France. We craft everything naturally from vine to bottle. No chemical fertilizer, no fungicide, no pesticide, crafted with very low sugar also as well. We go beyond organic and we craft the champagne totally naturally, from vines to cellar. Here you will find champagne that is much more digest, that is much more aromatic, that is vibrant, and that really represents the place where the champagne is made. The champagne that you want to have for all your occasions. Grab your bottles for your holidays and come and cheers with us. Santé.
And we are back with Lisa Marsh, and she's been telling us about her wonderful story and her family and her fabulous granddaughter.
Yeah.
Now that you've told us that you're gluten-free, I'm just wondering, have you made any other healthy changes in your life now that you've had this big shift in your life over the last few years? What things are you doing to make yourself a better, healthier human, I guess?
I am doing so many things, especially now that I have hit these mid-50s. And if you guys have not quite made it there, it is quite an adventure. So if you haven't made a shift for your health, when you hit these mid 50s, you probably want to. So for me, it's eating healthier, it's eating better, understanding what I eat. So I read a lot of labels. I try to reduce the amount of processed sugar that I intake. And when I bake, I use a lot of either, if I'm not using organic sugar, then I am using or um, monk fruit or stevia in sweetening my products, because I don't want people to have all this processed sugar that causes a lot of different issues. And so I try to avoid it as much as possible. And I do realize that some things just has to have sugar. And if I need to do that, I'll use the organic sugar. So I get away from a lot of the chemical crap that they put into our foods. I'm really, really big on making sure you are taking care of the body that you have been given. We only get one, and we have to take care of it. And as I said, I'm in my mid 50s, so I am taking supplements. I am very blessed to not to really have to take any kind of medications. But I do take a lot of supplements. I'm taking vitamin C with flavonoids. I take some spirulina. I take vitamin D. And I work out. That, I think, is the most important thing. I get up every day at 6. I have my quiet time. Well, between 5 and 6, mostly 6. I have my quiet time. And then I go work out, because it clears my mind. It prepares me and gets me ready for all the challenges that I'm going to have during the day in running MsPsGFree. So I have to be the best me I can be. And if I'm working out, I can show up and do what it is that I need to do. So to me, moving, working out, making sure that you're taking care of your mind and your body as well as your soul is what I am truly about. And I preach that. And look, I told you about my granddaughter. I got 4 grandkids all together. And when they're over here and I'm working out, they right there with me. If I'm walking, they're walking with me. If I'm on the elliptical, if I'm on the treadmill, whatever it is that I'm doing, they're like doing it with me. I got the teeny tiny weights for the little ones. So we get it in, and you have to take care of you.
I find that as a business owner, that sometimes that's very hard. And the fact that you do it every day, I wish I had time to work out every day, but I do work out a few times a week. I do find it's very helpful with the whole clearing your mind. Even if you want to get up and you don't want to do it, you always feel better afterwards. Is that right? You feel better afterwards?
Yes, that is so true, because there are days when I don't want to. So if I don't feel good, if my allergies are acting up and I just can't do it for that day, I don't feel as good as when I push myself to go ahead and do it and get it done. And I do it in the morning, because I know if I wait for 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 11, it will never get done. I have to get up and get it done in the morning, because the rest of the day I'm running around really busy trying to make sure that Miss P's is showing up. And so in doing so, I have to show up, and I have to have all the things I need in order to do that. So
I'm totally with you on that. If I have friends that'll work out like at the end of the night after the kids go to bed, and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I'm just done right after dinner. Like, I'm just done. Just not gonna happen. I don't have that kind of energy.
And when I was working for the federal prison system, I used to do that. I would come home from work and work out. But now, since I've retired, or as I say, not retired, just transitioned to Miss P's, I think the best thing about running your own business is that you're in charge of your schedule, and you get to say, okay, every morning from this time to this time, I'm going to be working out. So please don't call me. I'm working out. Not everybody listens, because them husbands, they do what they want to do.
I don't have one of those yet, but maybe I'll find out one day.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I do know that we have some control over our schedules, but lately, mine's been out of control. I've been trying to be better. So, you have these granolas and your bars and all these things and your favorite treats. And Miss P's is really becoming a family affair. Do you have something that is your absolute favorite that you created, whether the public likes it or your fans like it, but it's like special in your heart?
Oh, I have so many things that I truly love. And I would say for me, being a chocoholic, one of the things that we've created is a peppermint toffee. And that is made with a gluten-free cracker. We make it so easily. Gluten-free crackers, butter, brown sugar, and now I found an organic brown sugar. So I'm happy about that. And just letting it harden a little bit and sprinkling with peppermint on top, real pepper. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, okay, I can't eat a lot of this, but it's so good. And then we have a lemon poppy seed that I truly, truly enjoy. And for us, knowing that we're going to be pushing the granola to the forefront and kind of pulling back on the other treats that we bake, it's a little sad for me, but I understand business. You have got to look at the numbers and the business, and you have to do what's best for the business. So.
But they'll always have a special place in your heart. I know there's recipes I create. I love them. I think they're wonderful. I give them to clients and they're like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. They're not as happy as, but they still always have that special place.
Yes, I agree. And the cookie bars for us will always be special. It was our very first product. And we used to take it to work at the federal prison. And those people would be like, oh, she got them crack bars. The staff would be, crack bars, she got them. Yeah.
That's like a perfect name for them. If they're as addicting as you say, although I bet your friends and neighbors will probably love them at the holiday time. Like, you can pop up and give to them.
Yes. And that's what I'm planning on doing too for this holiday season, is having like a chocolate basket with our toffee and our cookie bars and our new chocolate hazelnut pecan granola. So
no, you're telling me you have some amazing new flavors.
Yes.
And of course, there's chocolate in it. My fellow chocoholic, I want to hear all about them.
Yes, I have been working on this chocolate hazelnut pecan, and I think I finally got it perfected. And just sprinkling dairy-free chocolate into it. And having the goodness of the flax and the chia, and still having the organic spices, organic coconut oil, but then being able to have that chocolate mixed with those pecans. Ooh, 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 so good. So I am anxiously awaiting, because we're looking actually right now at new packaging for all of our granola. So we're currently working on that. And it's coming right in time for us to launch the new flavors, the chocolate hazelnut pecan, and then our harvest blend for those lovely, lovely consumers and customers that cannot do nuts. But we have organic pumpkin seed and raw sunflower seeds in those. And it also has your flax and your chia and your organic coconut oil. So just amazing. So I am anxiously awaiting to see our new packaging, which should drop in mid-January, as well as our new flavors.
Sounds like it's so good. It's the kind of like granola you want to eat in the dark and like sleep at night from everybody. Like the way you talk about it, it's like, one more bite, like when you go get a drink of water at night, you're sneaking bites on the counter.
Well, the good thing about ours is no added processed sugar. So it's sweetened with a little bit of honey and a little bit of stevia. So you can munch all day without that crash and without the fear of overeating. And of course, chocolate is chocolate. We love it.
You said earlier about monk fruit and stevia. Can you maybe tell us the difference? Because some people might be a little confused about that, what the difference is.
Now, stevia, from what I have read, is people are more attuned to stevia, but stevia to me gives you a little bit of a bite especially in your baked goods. So I have to pull back on the stevia in baked goods, but in using the monk fruit, I can sweeten, and monk fruit, and they both come in either crystallized or liquid. Now, for us, when we're baking, the liquids are much better unless you're doing baked goods like the lemon poppy seed, things like that. You want to use the crystallized. But I like both the stevia and the monk fruit, but to me, the stevia has a little more of a bite. And you just have to be very careful with stevia because it's 100 times sweeter than sugar. So people tend to overuse it. And then they're like, oh, I can't. But if you're tasting it, you've used too much. And we have to tell people that. Yeah.
I believe on the boxes that I have seen for stevia and monk fruit, like when I've been buying stuff in the aisles and seen it, my grandfather used, before he died, he was diabetic. So we used to have to like use that stuff. So they used to have like the substitutes, like 1 cup of sugar equals like this much of the granulated or this much of the drops. So if people really are worried about doing it, make sure you look on the back or on their website. They usually have the like measurements.
Yep. Because people ask all the time about the stevia in the granola and are very, very surprised when they taste it that you can't taste it because you're not supposed to. It's only in there as a flavor enhancer so that it enhances the sweetness of the honey and enhances the sweetness of the granola. So we only use a few drops, and it is absolutely delicious. And, you know, you ain't gonna ask me, a lot of people know. But yeah, for us, the stevia and the granola, you can't taste. It is absolutely delicious. My preference is the monk fruit, especially in baked goods. It doesn't give you that bite. And it is just as delicious. So I like them both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope so. You're putting them in your products, so I would hope you like them both. So, you know, we talked about how people are unaware, but things are getting like more aware. I know that you guys are starting to gain more traction in your local area. And with the holidays coming up, do you have a lot of local events in the Chicagoland area?
We do. We are participating in an event on Black Friday. We're excited about it. It's going to be at Freedom Home Academy, 9501 South Dorchester, where we'll be setting up and selling our deliciousness. And we're also working with the Chamber of Commerce in the Woodlawn area, and they are looking at an event for Small Business Saturday, and we're hoping to get that underway, as well as we'll be participating with Northwestern University's Law School on December 1st, where they have a holiday event where we're going to be a vendor. So we are excited to get out, to talk to people, and praying that this pandemic will be far behind us very soon, and that we can all be together again, mask free.
How has the pandemic like affected your like new launches and things like that? Have you guys had a harder time, or is it just more you used to get out more into the community?
Yeah, it has really affected our business. When the pandemic first hit, we were like, what in the world is happening? I mean, our sales, because we're in Whole Foods Market locations in and around Chicago, our sales dropped like a rock. Then we couldn't even go in the stores. So we could not conduct demos like we're doing now, demonstrations in the stores where we let our customers, consumers try the products. We couldn't do any of that. Whole Foods had also said that they didn't want you going to but one store per day. So if I needed to go into a store to check their inventory, to face the products, to talk to the buyers, I could only do that one store at a time. And trying to catch the buyers sometimes is very challenging. So I know they had so much going on during this pandemic. So it was very, very challenging. Thankfully, it has gotten a little bit better. We are working again with our buyers. We're out in the stores conducting demonstrations, allowing our customers, our consumers to taste the product. We are excited to be going out to these vendor events and talking to people and just educating people about better eating, better taking care of ourselves, better movement, just being around longer. Because that's big for me. Because for me, it has been a labor of love to create these things, because my family has gone through what I call generational curses, where my mom passed away at 60, my dad passed away at 42, and then in 2018, I lost a sister. She was 51 to a heart attack. So if I can prevent just one person from having to go through what our family has had to endure with loss and not understanding that a lot of what happens to us is because of what we put in here, what we put in our mouth, what we put in our body, and just to talk to people about that and educate people to do better. When you know better, you do better. And a lot of us just don't know any better. I know I didn't. And I'm learning every day what makes me work and how I feel better about doing the work. So
I love that, about feeling better, to do better, and to know better. And, I always tell people that healthy starts from the inside out, that you can't be healthy if you're not putting the right things in your body.
True.
And it sounds like your granola is the right thing to be putting in our bodies.
Yes, it surely is.
So, we should be starting with what we eat for breakfast, what we drink in our coffee, what we even drink if we have a glass of wine, or if we don't drink, or if we're, drinking enough water in our lives, or
always water, always water. So
I get it. It's just so hard. And I'm sorry about your family.
Yeah.
My father didn't live to 50 either. He died early because of a heart attack. And so did my grandfather. So I understand about changing lifestyles and hoping that we change stuff in our family and that they follow along too. It's a little harder. Now, you named the company for your mother. Am I correct?
That is correct. Because as I said, life for me really changed in 2009. And it all started with her passing. When you lose that cheerleader in your life, that one person that no matter what you do or how wrong you are, because we have all been wrong, she is there. She is saying, you was wrong, but come here and get this hug and feel better. And, but that was my mom. She would say to us, that wasn't right, but I'm still here for you and you can fix it. You don't have to leave it like that. And for that person to be gone, the world becomes a much colder place. And so in her honor and in her memory and passing that on, MsPsGFree is named after Miss Youlas Patterson-Brown, who was affectionately known as Miss P.
That's lovely. She's like your little angel looking while you're doing stuff, trying to guide you along, saying, well, maybe that's not a good idea. Do you hear her voice in your head sometimes when you're doing things?
I think we all do. And there's 6 of us. So growing up, all 6 of us would be like, now, mama ain't gonna put up with that. So we remind each other many times. And then for me, now is the time I really get nostalgic, because I do our family calendars. So every year about this time, I start gathering pictures of mom and dad and my sister and all of our relatives and the new babies, the new additions, and putting it into a beautiful calendar so that next year when we go month after month, we can remember those that we have lost and that we love so dearly, and just keep that closeness, because family is so important. It really, truly is. They ground us. They make sure that we are doing what it is we're supposed to be doing. And if we're not doing right, they will absolutely tell you. I know mine will. They'll be like, girl, what are you doing?
Oh, Italians have opinions too. So yeah, I get it.
Yes. Yep. So absolutely. All dedicated to mommy. I am very, very thankful to have had her. And I had her for 42 years. And I just wish it could have been a little bit longer, but her memory will live on in the business with Miss P's. And even with my granddaughter, she used to call her Grandma P. Well, Grandma P, say, okay.
I love that. And do you have any special plans for Miss P's for the holidays? Do you guys have anything special going on? Like any holiday baskets, anything you can tell us anyways?
Yes, we are going to at these vendor events, and we're going to try to make them during the live events where people can pick up the goodies and take them home. And, you know, for our chocolate stuff, they may want to put that in the freezer, but for our granola stuff, they could put that under the tree or hang the little bags all over the place just to give their family a little bit of goodness and sweetness. So we'll have some really good specials coming up. And they need to stay tuned to our website and stay tuned to our social media because we will be dropping little clues as we go along.
Oh, sounds like Lisa has a nice little holiday nuggets coming your way. You know, granola makes a great stocking stuffer.
I absolutely agree. And we've got the size too. We've got some stocking stuffer sizes. So yes.
I love it. It's been so much fun talking to you about all this stuff and all this healthy things. And I just love how passionate you are about what you do. And I love that your family is now on board and you are moving forward with Miss P's and all their wonderful goodness they got going. Now, we are going to say goodbye in just a minute.
All right.
But is there anything else you want us to know or share before you go? Any last final words?
Well, just for MsPsGFree, that know that we are about your health and your welfare, and we are here to make the gluten-free world a tastier and healthier place. And we are inviting you all along for the journey. So thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Food for Life, for having us today. We love you guys and appreciate being able to talk with you.
Thank you, Lisa, and happy holidays. And I can't wait to try the new flavors in the new year.
Yay! Thanks, Ashley.
Bye. Be well.
All right. Take care. Stay blessed. Stay healthy.
Yeah. Wasn't that fun, everyone? Lisa's a wonderful person. And look how passionate she is about her job. That's kind of one of the things I love. I love being able to have people on the show that are passionate about what they do. Now, when we come back, I have some quick holiday dinners that you can maybe do since we might be having some people in our house who are going to be staying with us and preparing that big meal. We want to get some things going. So let's get that going for you. Be back in 1 minute.
From right to left and every angle in between, know what I mean in this day and age. So many seem like they're lost inside a world and held captive in a dream. A glimpse of mediocrity, take one for the team. And even though this path is long and this place is unforeseen, gotta keep your feet moving, filling spaces in between, seeing places in your dreams. If you complacent by your means, by all means go back to sleep. The path is steep, there's no rest for the weary. If you intend to reach peaks, it gets deep. Come on, it's infinite, we still climbing. Yes, yes, y'all. And thanks for the positive vibes, but I still got a mountain to climb. Just take it one step at a time,
I'm gonna ball till I fall, gonna ride till I die. I'll never give in, yo, if I wanna survive. Not gonna swallow my pride, I'll never give up, cause when it's all said and done, is what I've done enough. I push myself to the edge, I push myself to the brink. Is the toil all worth it? It makes me stop and think. But through the mud and the mire, the joy and the strife, no one can claim that I didn't live all of this beautiful life.
Hi, everyone. I am back. Now, we may be getting ready for the big holidays coming, and we're probably going to be with our family and friends, some of them actually staying with us. And in honor of Miss P's, I have a great gluten-free recipe that is quick, easy, and can be put in the oven and pretty much forgotten about. Now, right here, I have some gluten-free pasta. I have spaghetti because it's pretty much my favorite. I have it in this greased casserole dish. I just put a little bit of olive oil spray in it because we don't want the spaghetti to stick. Now I have a brown rice pasta I'm using. You can do anything from quinoa, there's green pea, I've seen lentil, I've seen all kinds of ones that have like a mixture of like quinoa and brown rice, or the lentil pastas. The lentil pastas are pretty good. I find the chickpea ones, they are a little chewy. I also don't like chickpeas, but shh, don't tell anybody, okay? We won't tell anybody about that. Now this is gonna be a baked pasta. No boiling water, no cooking the sauce ahead of time. It's gonna go straight into the oven and you're not gonna think about it anymore. Poof, gone. All you gotta do is stir it once and then take it out and serve. Now, I have a can of crushed tomatoes, organic fire roasted. And I'm going to put this in over the pasta. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm going to pour 1 cup of water in here to get out the rest of the tomatoes. We don't want to waste any bits. Now you actually need 2 cups of water, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you this. You want to make sure they have enough water to soak in the pasta. And the thing is the sauce will get thicker from the starch from the pasta, which is kind of the really yummy part. I have a tablespoon of olive oil that I'm going to just toss in. It helps enrichen the sauce. I have a pinch of sea salt. Make sure you do a hefty pinch. There's something people actually don't know. Like if you're baking, if they ask you to do like a little pinch, it's 2 fingers and a thumb. If they're asking for a big pinch, 3 fingers and a thumb. Very scientific, right? Now, if you have really big hands, you might want to stick with the 2-finger method and then like a 1-finger method. All right, a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. Pepper and salt really they're flavor enhancers. They bring out the flavor of anything. And I have here some dried basil and some crushed red pepper. My family likes everything spicy. We're a spicy family. Now, if you don't like the spice, leave it out. You can also add in dry oregano if that's something that you're into. I'm not crazy about dried oregano. I always feel like it doesn't taste as good as it should. Now, here's the thing. We're going to mix this up with a little bit of our tongs here. Now, the reason I'm using tongs, and I know that it's still dry, is because halfway through when we bake it, we're going to want to stir it and the tongs will help. Now, my last ingredient going in is that canned tomatoes, sometimes they need to be cooked down for a long time. And this is like a version of a quick sauce that you would make, like a weeknight sauce, the Italians call it. I have about a tablespoon of organic honey from a local honey maker that we have. We have so many great organic honeys in the area, local honeys. Oh, I love them. And this will help take out that uncooked flavor that people get, or that like almost tinny taste people say tomatoes from the can get. Now make sure you want to get organic, and crushed is what I get when I make sauce in the winter. Now these are all great. They're all pantry staples that you can have. It's pretty easy. The pasta and the tomatoes are things you can get. You can also make it with fresh tomatoes. In the summer, I put in like a pint of fresh cherry tomatoes, some artichokes, and any fresh herbs I got, and I make it and I just bake it. So we're going to bake this at 400 degrees in the oven. Hold please while I bend down to put it in the oven. As you can see, my oven squeaks a little. Gotta get a little WD-40 on that door. All right. So I want to talk about some gluten-free options for the holidays, because I know it's always hard when you have relatives that are gluten-free and you don't know what to give them. I know this because my family asks these things. So gluten-free pasta, wonderful thing. Make sure it has no additives or anything in them. Also, rice. Rice is actually naturally gluten-free. And potatoes. Potatoes are gluten-free. So as long as you don't add a ton of like other things or flour or anything to them, these are all things you can give them. And for those people that ask what do vegetarians eat, you know, when you have that salad on the table, all vegetarians can eat that. This is vegetarian. You can leave out the honey if you have vegans. So it's perfectly easy. So, I mean, this will bake in the oven, this pasta dish here, for about 24 to 28 minutes, depending on how long it takes for it to become bubbly. Halfway through, you just stir it with the tongs and you'll have a great quick dinner. You can go about prepping for your Thanksgiving day. This is a perfect thing to do the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I hope that you all have amazing holidays and stay tuned. Season 2 of Food for Life is coming in January with all new, bigger guests, more fun topics about health and wellness. And if there's anything you want to see, make sure you let us know. Happy holidays, everyone. And stay tuned and follow us on our Instagram at BellaFoodie7.
At VentureX Holyoke, professional community meets white glove concierge services. Our turnkey workspaces with flexible terms include all the amenities you'll need: a receptionist, high-speed internet, free parking, gourmet coffee, and more. Centrally located off 91 and the Mass Pike, our private offices and conference room rentals provide ideal space for small to medium businesses and corporate events. Our team will ensure you have all the tools you'll need to succeed. VentureX, the future of workspace.